What is up, Equine Edge family? Brady Klotz here with my co-host Mike Somich, ready to bring you guys some Charlestown and Remington racing tonight. Mike, how are you doing?
I'm great. I'm excited. We get two tracks that we can show live, which is awesome. We got big fields in both Charlestown races we're going to do, and we've got some good racing from Remington. So I'm pumped, man.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of live racing tonight. Thank you, Remington. Closing days tomorrow, so they brought back some Thursday racing for us to share with you guys. I know they got the Springboard Mile coming up, which is really important. We might talk about in between a few races. But right now, we're going to go right to Charlestown as it's 0 minutes to post, and we have a 4-5 favorite that looks like he's lone speed. Mike, are you going to try to beat the one Dudette?
You know, I kind of want to because I don't necessarily know if this horse is lone speed. And that's what's interesting about this. Obviously, it has a clear pace advantage when you look at the Equinedge numbers. I don't disagree with that. But you have a horse that's shipping in the 5 horse who's coming in from Laurel. And it's going to be interesting to see whether or not that horse is going to actually be able to put pressure here on the 1. If the 5 is able to do that, and the 5 showed some speed at Laurel or in Penn National 2 back, specifically going 5 furlongs, that could really hamper the 1's trip. So if that happens, I think you might be able to find a horse at a price a little bit, kind of like the 10 horse Signs of Jealousy, who is dropping out of the $12,000 level back into the $5,000 level. Did run at this level 2 back, wasn't able to quite get the job done, but the effort over the turf 3 back puts it in play. And I'd much rather try and start out with a 4-1 price versus an even money shot.
I agree. I'm sick and tired of the chalk here at Charlestown. We need to find a price horse. And this one, Signs of Jealousy, had a good workout last time out, is the EE long shot play and dropping in class. So that was my top pick here, the 10, to try to beat this 1. I think the 1 on the pace number looks gone, but man, you've got to question this. He's even money, so you're swallowing a tough price. And every time that this horse has been the favorite, at least in his last 5 starts, he's lost. And so, what do you do with that? He is dropping in class. We're coming from maiden special weight down to maiden claiming level. We are going 4.5 furlongs. So needing the lead is probably pretty important here at Charlestown, as we know, just from watching previous races. And so let's just say that this 1 doesn't like to win. And let's try to get a price home here in the 10.
I agree with you. And we need to jump over to Remington real quick here. Remington is walking to the gate right now. So we're going to have to jump Remington first and then come back to Charlestown. Talking about chalk. I mean, we're staring at a 1-9 shot here at Remington as they walk to the gate. This is a Steve Asmussen horse. Got Stuart Elliott up and has just been pretty dominant, really, is the best way to put it. Lady Av is the name of the horse. She's won 4 of 6 at Remington. She's won 4 of her last 5. Only loss coming last time out at Delta Down. So this is a horse that is legit good chalk in that sense. Mm-hmm. I think it's awfully tough to beat this 4. You have any way around the 4 here?
I was trying to look, I was looking at the pace number and everything, and I looked at the 5 Fire of Gold, and I just worry about the pace duel and then the 4 just prevailing and leaving the 5 in the dust. So that's what I'm really worried about with the 5. So I was trying to look outside of there. I was looking at the 3 a little bit. This is also the EE long shot play. I thought the 3 might be able to sit a decent trip if they do duel up front with the 5 and the 4. And so, I like that this horse has ran at this level before, has the experience, has ran at a tougher level and is lost. But I just thought maybe the 3 could pick up the pieces at a 12-1 price or at a 20-1 price. I can't support a 1-9 shot. Let's get out of here. But Stuart Elliott and Steve Asmussen team up all the time at Remington. They win at 23%. As you can see this year, he's got 661 mounts for Asmussen. So every single horse that Asmussen runs at Remington, Elliott gets. So let's try to beat this 4.
Yeah, the biggest issue for me, too, is the horse I liked the most was the 7, who just got beat by the 4 by like 5 lengths. And so it's tough to really get excited about a horse when you're really trying to find a way to when the next horse you like is the one who just lost to it. So 3-5, actually the off odds versus 1-9. So a lot of late money did come in on some other entries here. Lady Av has been a horse that's taken fields wire to wire pretty much every time that she's won. So you kind of expect to see her out front there. It looks like she's already put away the 5 here, Fire of Gold.
6 is getting a nice trip. I think she's in between in 3rd. The 5 did exactly what we thought she was going to do. Tried to go in the pace duel and just got absolutely embarrassed. Is anybody running from the back? Looks like the 8's running. The 3's trying to get going, but the 3's going to be too little too late, it looks like.
Well, let's get the 7 up for second. I played the cold 4-7 exactly to start out the night here because that was who ran second to him last time. I hope we can get by this 6 here.
Come on.
Get up with this
Finish.
7.
Switch leads.
Don't flatten out. Don't flatten out. Oh,
Come on.
Oh,
the rooting for second place is so hard for me because when I first got into horse racing, I was just a win better. That's all that I knew. I didn't know what place and show meant when you first started, but you kind of had an idea, but you're like, okay, what is it going to pay? You see it doesn't pay very well. Then you're like, man, it's hard enough to pick a winner. It's even harder to pick the winner with a second place horse. And so I find myself just absolutely screaming at the TV sometimes for second.
Well, it's kind of like playing a favorite in football, where your goal is for them to cover and their goal is to just win the race. And so you don't always get the ride you want when you have a horse that you're trying to get up for second, because they're either backing up and they're not going to push the horse too much, or they're not going all out because it's second or third or fourth, and depending on what your bet is. So it can be frustrating. It would have been nice to get the 7 up. I think we ended up a head short here, and that the 8 actually, I think, got up for second.
Yeah, looks like it. Yeah, no, speaking of football, we got the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Chargers tonight. Chiefs were a 3-point favorite and are up 10-0 just to start the second quarter here. So, 3-point spread seemed pretty good on the Chiefs tonight. I mean, it's a tough divisional race right now. Chiefs have a slight edge and have really come on winning 5 or 6 games in a row. So I'm on the Chiefs tonight in a parlay. But Mike, you got anything on the game tonight?
I have the over. That's it. So over 52.5. I bet it earlier this week. Hopefully we can get some more points here. It's been a little bit of a lot of moving the ball up and down the field, but not many points, which is always frustrating when you have the over.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, we're back to Charlestown now. It looks like the one Doodat is floating up a little bit to 6-5. EE has him as the top pick, 62% win, 88 on the pace number, which is just a huge difference between the 5 at 51 and the 8 at 50. And so we don't see these kind of differences in numbers very often. So with a class drop of 42 SOR, facing a 34, which is the second highest, in a 30 race SOR. So as far as the algorithms go, the system's all over this one. Let's see if maybe we can beat it. I know Mike and I both like the 10 a little bit. If anybody can maybe go pressure this one, that would go a long, long way if these pace numbers are seeing it correctly.
Yeah, and it's interesting. One thing that I've noted when handicapping here with Equinedge, and specifically the pace numbers, is when you see those stars, that indicates that the horse is a need the lead type. So you'll often see horses that have stars that have a lower pace rating that actually go to the front. And so when you see a race with 4 stars, or in asterisks, I guess I should say, so there's one next to the 51 and the 50, that means both of those horses are likely to send. So even though they are technically slower, they can be a thorn in the side of a horse like the one who wants to be out there by themselves. And so when I'm going through races, and I use Equinedge a lot, especially for tournaments, when I'm going through races and I see 4 speed horses or 4 of those asterisks, I'm always looking for closers, because that kind of means that you're going to see multiple horses try and go to the front, go to the lead. And if you're able to find a race where you have 3, 4 horses that want the lead, generally you're going to see an advantage for the horses that are coming from behind.
Absolutely. And, Equinedge has been just a great tool for me to use. And, I started off handicapping, just using the TVG app. That was the way I started handicapping. And then,
I don't know if that counts as handicapping.
it's, hey, we're 0 minutes to post. Who do you like here? And so then it kind of transformed into other things. And, using multiple outlets as a tool. I think that's the key thing, is use your tools to your advantage. You yourself are the handicapper. It's just what tools can help make you sharper. And, this new pace number has definitely made me sharper on who I'm going to try to get for the lead. I've used time form numbers before, and I think it's just really good to compare everything together. There's nothing wrong with that. It's like checking your homework. And so see if you can find algorithms that align here. And then if you use some other things, whether you're a replay watcher or you use, a form or something like that, just compare it. And if it all lines up, you got your play.
I 100% agree. I think it's how you process the information that you have available to you. And so getting more information isn't necessarily a bad thing, as long as you're able to process it properly and figure out kind of what patterns and angles that you can see and find. So if you're joining us here in the chat, chime in, let us know who you like here. John is on the 1 horse here at Charlestown. I am going to go with the 10 and hope we can get past this 1 horse, but the 1 does look tough. And it's going to be one of those situations on the drop in class, if this horse is able to get loose, if anyone's able to come and catch him.
I'm about to cancel withdrawal on my TVG account and bet this one. You ever done that before? You always got a pending withdrawal. You're like, all right, I'm just going to take my money and run today. No, I'm going to cancel this one right now.
You're cancel withdrawing and you're going to bet the 1 or the 10?
I'm going to bet the 1. I think this one's gone loan speed. I think this is free money.
I can respect that. The 110. Oh, wow. The 110 exact is paying $8.
That's not bad.
I might take a little piece of that too. So I got some 10 to win, but I'm gonna take a little 110 straight exact as a little bit of a cover here.
There we go. Looks like we're all in line and ready for the start.
And here we go. One horse rushing out of there. The 5 horse showing no speed. So that, yeah, the algorithm dead on there that the 5 is going to be pretty slow here. And the 1 gets a pretty comfortable lead. I kind of like the 10 spot here, though, for the exacta or win bet.
Yeah, absolutely. 10 looks comfortable there. Oh, down to 3. I shouldn't have bet. Down to 3 to 5. That's not good value.
Man, you always do that, Brady. Every time they drop, it's always you, man.
Hey, we've moved a few lines in our day. Looks like the 1 is just Bubba saying the 1 liking the rail here. Absolutely bonus. Looks like the 10's already starting to ask. This 1 is absolutely chilly. Let's hold on 110 straight exacta for $8. Come on.
Yeah, let's just keep the 7 out of here.
Who's this horse coming up the rail? The 7. Come on, 10. Finish. Finish for second.
I'm more worried about the 9.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, we're good. We're home. That 1 was so far gone.
You know what I hate? All right, there we go. Ice cold. I hate it when they pan out and just focus on the winner. You know, I get it. That's great. The winner's winning. I don't even care. You could take the winner off the screen for all I care. Show me the horses behind him because I know who won the race. I have no clue who's going to run second.
We watched the Breeders' Cup races together live at Del Mar. I wasn't even watching Knicks go in the Classic. Halfway down the backstretch, I started talking. I was like, all right, how are we going to get Essential Quality at for second? Come on, Luis. You're on the rail. You're getting a terrible trip. You see Johnny V's already pumping on Medina Spirit. Rest in peace. And I'm like, come on, Luis. Come on, Luis. I already knew Joel was gone by 5.
Yeah.
Second place, dude. It's hard to root for.
That one was easy. That one was fun. We like those fun, easy ones. I can't believe that's $8 exacta.
That's awesome.
I mean,
great play there.
It dropped to 6 last minute, but that's still incredible value. 3 to 5 over 4 to 1. It's not that hard of a one to find. Yeah,
45 to 1 for third. Let me ask your opinion on this, Mike. Some people like to find maybe their exacta and then say, hey, you know what? For 50 cents, I'm going to play a try. I'm going to play all in third. Are you a fan of that strategy of hitting the all button in third sometimes? Trying to get the bomb might not be cost effective if you'd get like the third favorite in third, but do you ever take a swing like that?
I hate it. I absolutely hate it. Now, if you stack your tries, I don't hate it. But if you're like the hitting the all button is essentially saying that you think every single horse has the exact same chance of running in third, which means that you're not. I would rather play the exacta. Like in this case, let's say there's 5 other or 6 other horses. I'd rather play the exacta for another $3 because that's where my opinion is versus play a 50-cent try and hope for a long shot. Now, if you play a 50-cent try with all, and then you come back and you play a $1 try with half the field, and then a $2 try with 2 of the horses, and a $5 try straight, and you've all of a sudden stacked your opinions, then I'm all for it. Then I like that idea because you're saying, okay, I want to stack this in a different manner and create value on the horse that I believe is the most likely to run third. But just straight up hitting the all button, I think, is generally a bad practice. Unless, I mean, there's some instances in pick 4s and pick 5s and pick 6s. I think it does make sense. But for most situations, I'm not a big all button fan in that sense.
Makes sense. I bet the try paid decent there. We got a 3 to 5 shot over a 4 to 1 over a 45 to 1. We got some people interacting in the chat now. Bubba had the 1 for a big win bet. Looked like a breeze, but the 1 was a bit late to get out to the lead, which surprised me. I don't think so. I think sometimes the camera angle, Bubba, can be a little bit deceiving on who's going out and getting the lead. The 1 broke pretty well and just had, her way just to get right to the front. So watch for the camera angles there if you don't think the horse broke all that well. Joe says hi. Hey, Joe. What's up, man? What do you got at Turfway tonight, Joe? Let us know. This is great. We got Remington, Charlestown, then right to Turfway here in 5 minutes. We've got non-winners of Lifetime 1 going 6.5 furlongs on this synthetic at Turfway. Speed's been doing pretty well at Turfway is what I've been noticing. Ravelli won a race earlier from off the pace, which was odd for a Ravelli horse. Usually they're kind of a need the lead kind of type. 8 to 5 on this 12 Thundering Creed that looks like it's going to come from off the pace based on the pace number, facing a Wesley Ward Speed Demon in Tis Splendid News. Mike, I ended up here with a straight 2 over the 1 exacta. I like my money to run second for John McKee. You're getting a price of 7 to 1 here. Should sit a nice trip, a little bit off the pace. Why is this 12 getting bet so hard?
I'm not sure. I'm looking over the form right now, and I don't see a big reason to like this 12. I mean, when I go back and I on Equinedge, you see that 41 pace number. There's not a ton of speed here. 6.5 furlongs, a little harder to wire a field, but when you're that much the best on the pace perspective, it shouldn't be that big of an issue. One thing I would like to look at here, I'm going to jump over to the daily doubles real quick and see what the will pays are. because you had a morning line 6-5 on this 2-horse. And yeah, it looks like, so the daily double is paying $8.70 to the 2. It's paying $20 to the 12. So I expect those odds to flip. I think you're going to end up with between 6-5 and 7-5 on the 2-horse Tis Splendid News.
Yeah, I would agree there 100%. Will pays are a great indicator of where the actual win money is going to go by post time. And as we know, a lot of happens with the computer players in the last 30 seconds before the tote closes. Corrales usually rides Wesley Ward horses here at Turfway Park. He's a great gate jockey, really gets the horse out. Reminds me of Jaramillo from Gulfstream Park quite a bit. Should have a clear, easy lead. I think we got to look at the 3-horse here, Street of Dreams. Chris Landeros is riding for Ian Wilkes. They team up quite often here. You got this horse trying synthetic coming off of a dirt and a turf effort. And so tried at Keeneland, tried Kentucky Downs, tried Churchill Downs, facing better, dropping in. This horse seems like it might figure as well.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, Tis Now is about 14% blended on the synthetic, so fairly good. I'm sorry, Street Sense is about 14% blended, so fairly good sire in that perspective. It also seems like a little bit softer spot than what this horse was running in. I mean, those Keeneland allowances and the Kentucky Downs allowances are awfully tough. So if this horse is able to take the synthetic, I think the 3-horse makes a ton of sense here too. I like your call on the 1 as well, the straight one. I have a feeling you're not going to see too many horses coming from deep closing positions to be able to get up in the top 3. So maybe the 2 over 1-3 try is the route to take here. I do think the 2 could be awfully tough there in front.
Absolutely. And we definitely do not expect the 12 to go off favored based on the will pays. So we'll see what happens here. Where I've really kind of evolved as a handicapper when capping these kind of races is I think the system almost helps me eliminate horses almost as much as, or if not more than it does help me find the winner. And that can be important because you and I are both big horizontal players. We think, okay, if we're going to play a 4-race sequence, it's kind of like a parlay. In football, you only get to choose one team on the spread. In horse racing, depending on what your budget is and what denomination you want to play the race for, you can pick all, you can single. And so that's kind of where I was using too many horses previously in handicapping. And, if I see a horse here at 1% that has no speed, the EE morning line is 50-1, I'll most likely just toss that horse instead of hitting the all button and wasting cash.
Yeah, I mean, I for me, if I'm going all but 1, I'm not a big fan of it because that one time it really pisses you off. A lot of times to me, when it's down to 2 horses, I found that it's very, very easy, or it's easier to jump in here and be able to look for reasons to lean against horses. I love the fact that you've got those combo numbers, the jockey trainer combo numbers and the GSR numbers. I think those are huge. I also like looking at the lifetime numbers quite a bit. It's nice to just see all of them together. Sometimes you can see trainers trying to get around conditions. So if you click on that lifetime number, occasionally you'll see that you've got horses that are in, this is an N1X allowance, but you've got the 2, 3, and 4-time winners.
Trainers trying to get around conditions.
Some of those horses I like to kind of focus on because you've got winners of 4 races in a race that's not winners of 1. And so you have some advantages there in my mind. So the 1 horse specifically, my money is one of those that's won twice. And I think it's going to sit a really good trip here. When you do look at the form on the 3, now you got that 68 pace number. This horse last time out went 21 and change on the front end and ended up quitting going 6 furlongs, but has the ability to put some pressure here on the 2. If the 1 and the 2 or the 2 and the 3 go, I think it might set up for the 1 here. You're getting 7-1. That's not a bad price at all.
Hey, we'll take that because we don't like it when the chalk wins on this show, especially live. And it looks like it's 0 minutes of post at Turfway, but they're probably taking their time here.
They're about to load right now.
Okay. Hit us up in the chat, guys, if you'd like us to talk about a weekend race. I know there's some good racing going on at Oaklawn and at Gulfstream this weekend. I know CZ Rocket is going to be back into play. We've got actually Hidden Scroll I saw is going to be running at Turfway on Saturday. Along with, I think, Cross Border as well. And so a couple of big-name horses. We'll have to talk about that. I'd like to hear people's thoughts on Hidden Scroll coming back to Turfway on the synthetic.
I'm a sucker for Hidden Scroll. And I actually thought the horse should be on turf. And so I'm really interested to see what happens now that we're sending the horse onto dirt. Because I'm sorry, onto synthetic, because I think that's going to be an interesting surface for Hidden Scroll.
I remember I was at Hidden Scroll's maiden debut at Gulfstream in the slop. And I mean, it was almost like the picture of Ron Turcotte on Secretariat looking back when Joel looked back and was like 20 lengths clear. I was like new to horse racing at that point. I'm like, did we just see the Derby winner? And then you see him drop in the futures wagers, and it's like, yeah, he's not. And when he ran in the Florida Derby against Maximum Security, no thanks.
That debut was incredible. That was on Pegasus Day. I was there as well. It was absolutely amazing just to see him roll home. And that was a good field too. I think there were 2 Browns, 2 Pletchers. I mean, that was a fairly tough field. They just sprung the latches there at Turfway, and the 2 and the 3 are sending for the lead. The 1 is sitting outside, it looks like, on the 3rd with the 11 tucked in there too. So we've got the 1, 2, 3 in the top 3 positions. Now we just got to get them in the right order.
Yeah, that's the tough thing. You know, Wesley Ward horses, they're going to go to the lead at all cost, and they don't care how fast they go. They're going to go get the lead.
Wait, Joe, is this real? They're seeding it with 200K, or they're guaranteeing 200K?
Wow.
Seeding it with 200K
they're
would be
seeding it.
insane. I mean, that would be amazing if they were. That would make it. They get over 2 million in that pool if they did that.
Absolutely. Well, if we could stop the race right now, I'm a huge fan of yelling "stop the race" when I'm at the races, looking like that idiot. We hit the try, but looks like the 1 is putting in some work as the 3's coming up on the outside. It looks like the 2's in deep waters here.
Yeah, the 11's making a move too at a monster number, 51 to 1.
Where's that 10 at? Where's that 10?
Someone's trying to split. It's the 8 that looks like it's trying to split here. That the 1 has some run down the middle, but it's going to need to get her going if he wants to get up. And the 12,
like this outside horse, this 8 here.
Yep, yeah. 8 on the outside, 1 in between, 12 on the rail, and here comes the 13 rolling late. Man,
the 12, the
12
early favorite, that early money definitely spoke volumes there. Oldie, good evening, chalking gents. We appreciate you, Oldie.
we've been bad chalk today for the most part.
Rodney, hey, love the 213 play. That's what they call the LA area code play. Nice. I'm the 574.
We've got 9 minutes to Remington and 11 to Charlestown. And Charlestown probably going to be late anyway. So let's go Remington next year. We got Remington's 4th.
All right, here we go. Remington's 4th. We've got 9 minutes to post, 6 furlongs on the dirt, 3-year-olds and up. Let's sort by the pace number here. We've got a lukewarm 3-1 favorite in the 2, Mean Cannon. Finally, a race where we don't have a 1-9 shot or a 3-5 shot, Mike. It's like, hey, here we go. This is what we've been looking for. And we finally have it. So, Mike, what were your first thoughts on this race?
So when I looked at this one, I ended up liking the 2-horse here, Mean Cannon. I did like a little bit of a price in the 8-horse Ramah as well. Those were the 2 that I picked out early. Let me scroll through here. I can start talking about them. So yeah, the 2-horse Mean Cannon is dropping in for a lower level claiming level. So they ran in $15,000 non-winners or 2 last time, dropping down to 7,500 here. I like the fact this is also second off the layoff, and it's a long layoff. So the horse ran at Lone Star on May 30th. Didn't run again until November 20th. Now we're getting second off the layoff at a little bit lower level. The first race off the layoff was about even with what we had seen earlier in the season. So if you can project, if you can kind of project improvement off of that first race, I think the 2-horse has a pretty big shot here. I liked it more at 5-1 than I do here at 3-1. So we'll have to see how the board reacts. But I do think that the 2 is awfully live.
No, absolutely. Got the hot trainer here. And, this is a wide open race here, which is kind of what we're looking for. And in a wide open race, if you can find a win percentage at 30%, favorites only win about 30% of the time, maybe 33% of the time. And you're getting 7-2 on a favorite here. That's not bad. We're going to be close to the lead here. And the horse is coming out of better races than the rest of the field. So logically, it makes sense. I wouldn't be surprised if this 2 actually goes off a little lower than the advertised price here. I looked a little bit to the 9 here. I know this is a little bit of a, class question, and, Burnt Money is the favorite. Just trying to get away from the 2 here. You get a nice price here at 10-1. I also liked the 1 a little bit. This is the EE long shot play, and these have been coming in decent today. This horse has just had a ton of excuses. And so when you're dealing with this kind of type of claiming level, I'm looking for horses that have a ton of excuses and looking for reasons to upgrade them. And I like Danny Pish at Remington Park, wins at 14%. We have 23% on the EE win percentage algorithm, and is getting bet down to about half of the morning line. So now it's co-favorite with Mean Cannon as well. If we're looking for a long shot play underneath, Mike, did you have anybody that you wanted to look at? I know my 9's 11-1 here. If you were going to maybe key the 2 on top and some exactas, where were you looking underneath?
So Ramah, the 8 horse, morning line 12-1 was the horse that I kind of steered to as a long shot. I mentioned it earlier. This is, I'm a big fan of second off a layoff, especially later in the 4-year-old season, later in the 3-year-old season. Those are logical improvement times for horses, just because they're a little bit more mature and they're kind of growing into themselves. This horse ran pretty well going a mile earlier in the 4-year-old campaign. Took about a month off, came back in November and ran at 5.5 furlongs, which I think was just a little bit too short for that horse. We're getting 6 furlongs today. You can see that the 8 horse Ramah was closing, was in 10th actually early in that 5.5 furlong sprint. Got all the way up to second at a big time price, was 6 wide, rallied up. I think if we can kind of take a step forward off that race, you got a big chance here. One of the things I mentioned earlier that I like is that kind of jockey trainer combo. When you look at the 8, we're at 17% for a 10% trainer and a 12% jockey, which tells me that when they get together, generally you're getting the trainer's best horses to this jockey if you're seeing that type of win percentage. And then the last thing that kind of caught my eye here was the GSR. If you go to the GSR, the 8 is tied for the top GSR at this distance. It hasn't tried it yet. So for me, this is a horse that I think has a decent shot, especially hitting the underneath. And one of the things that I think is interesting is that, this horse likes to run underneath. When you look at lifetime, you got 8 seconds. This year, the horse has run 14 times, I believe it is, and has hit the board 10 of those 14 times. So it's a horse you kind of count on the underneath side. And Kevin, just to answer your question real quick. So one of the interesting things about Equinedge is this is all different algorithms. So you've got, I think it's 26 different algorithms in total that are running here. The EE picks up top is a specific algorithm picking the top 2. The EE long shot is the algorithm that picks the long shot, which at least has to be higher than 5-1 morning line. The EE morning line, which you can see right here on Brady's screen there, will tells you what the Equinedge morning line is based off that algorithm. And the win percentage is a separate algorithm as well. So you're getting a bunch of different information, and then it's kind of how you want to parse that information and process it and be able to come out the other side with the winner you're looking for.
Well said. John Wilbanks is with you, Mike, on the 8 here. Oldie likes the 7 as a second off the layoff. You're getting a bomb price at 29-1 here. It's actually a price play as well. So maybe Oldie will hit the jackpot on this one at 30-1. We've still got 4 minutes to post, though, so sounds like they're going to take their time. Hit us up in the chat, guys. If you guys want to look at anything, we've got time. Remington's going to go off before Charlestown, so we could maybe look at one of the races at Remington on their big night in between one of these races. I
don't know who Linehan is, but he's got the 8 as the Linehan long shot. That could be a bad thing. I honestly have no idea, but I saw a handful of money in the 8 horse, so I had to pull it up.
It depends. All horse players have to be superstitious. Yeah. It's like at Keeneland or Churchill when you get the cow. To warm you up. It's like the cow is always on the horse you pick. And if the cow is warming your horse up, I mean, that cow must weigh more than any other warm-up horse or pony in horse racing. And my buddy Greg always says that horse cannot give your horse a proper warm-up. You got to break away from the cow. And if you don't break away from the cow, you're going to be slow leaving the gate. So pick your poison.
I love that. That's awesome.
It's an angle. Look for it at the Breeders' Cup at Keeneland next year. Trust me.
Did you have anyone you liked in the next race from a doubles perspective? If someone does want to play the 2-horse Mean Cannon here, was there anyone that you liked here on top in the doubles?
So if we go to race 5 at Remington, if we're going to play a daily double, saw a little bit of speed up front here. And so I was kind of trying to look for a horse that was going to come from just off of it. And I landed on the 8 here. I thought the 8 could do some running, coming out a little bit tougher, has a decent GSR, 15-1 morning line. You get a good jockey trainer combination out of Street Sense. And I really, I think the 10 is going to be way over bet here. And the 10 is probably going to be the deserving favorite. Weatherly wins at 20% here. And so I just really didn't want to swallow a win bet on the 10. I was probably going to put the 8 and the 10 in my top 2. So I might do like a weighted double here with most of the money on the 10 and some smaller money on the 8. What did you like in the doubles?
This is one of those races where I mentioned it earlier. You've got 3 of the stars and an 80. So you've got a ton of pace setting up here. And when you have those 3 stars and the 80, I expect a really hot pace, and I want someone who's right behind it. So I was going to play the 10 and the 7 in doubles and see if we can get a big price home from that 7 perspective, who I think is going to just absolutely sit the perfect trip and have a chance to run up into it. And then the 10 horse, Hanson's Mischief, who I do think is going to be your pretty deserving favorite. I think those are the 2 that are interesting. Oh, I don't see any doubles too. That's a bummer. I don't understand why we don't have rolling doubles at every racetrack. It makes absolutely
Arlington used to do it too.
Really?
I always would love the doubles I could find at Arlington, and then I'd go to bet it, and it's like, oh, it doesn't exist. you have to bet the pick 3. Yeah, it's like the
Remington.
early double and the late double at some tracks. So get your doubles in order. Come on, guys.
Come on, give us more things to bet. What's wrong with you?
Thank you, Kevin, for letting us know. You guys are always on top of it. All right, you guys, we love you guys.
Got to punch it in here. I'm going to play a straight exacta 2-8, and then I'm going to play a try 2 over 5-8 over 5-8-9.
Ooh, the Take It Generator's got something similar. 2 over 5-8 over 5-8-9.
Yep, that's where I'm rolling.
Like, I use the Take It Generator a lot. I just like the check mark and the X there, where you can just go through each leg and, pick, what you want to do, cross them out, fade the horse, key the horse. Really useful. All
right, Alex is deep here. He's trying to go price on here. The 1, 2, 3, 8, 9, 10 here in the pick 4. Are we in the late pick 4 yet? Oh, 6th race is the late pick 4. All right, so we'll have to. I don't think we're going to be on for that one. We'll have to try and check that one out too. I love the late pick 4 of Remington. I personally love these late thoroughbred tracks because it's so much fun to be. I have a 3-year-old daughter, so she's asleep now. So Daddy gets to do whatever he wants, and playing the late thoroughbred pick 4s is awfully fun.
I love it because you got during the day and everything. Gulfstream ends, Aqueduct ends, Fairgrounds ends. It's like, all right, what's next? And you think Los Al is like the only other thoroughbred. It's quarter horses, but now you got late night Remington. We're going to have Sam Houston coming up. We got Turfway. We got Charlestown. I mean, keep it going at night, guys. Run at night. We want to bet. We want to play these horses.
Look at this. The 8's walking into the gate at 5-2.
Dang.
that is a number. I'm surprised the 8's getting that bet that heavily.
Computer players, here we come.
Well, that's going to help keep the price up on the 2, but I'm surprised you're seeing 5-2 off a 12-1 morning line on that 8. We've got a 14-10 game now in San Diego or Los Angeles. I'm sorry. So the Chargers are up on Chiefs now after that early 10-0 lead.
There we go. Edward Zolaire, 22 yards. I need him for 50. I need Kelsey for 50. He's got 30 yards in the air. Tyreek Hill's got 32 yards. I need him for 60. Mahomes at 103 yards with still some time, maybe. Oh, yeah, they're getting the ball back now. It was the Chargers that scored. Wow. Yep. I would have thought the Chiefs would have been up.
All right, here we go. 2 is hustling out there, wants to get the lead on the rail. Let's see what we can do here. Hope I can turn on the volume for us too.
Oldie wants some of this 10 gumbo. I want some gumbo too. I'm pretty hungry. All right. There's the 7. This is the oldie play. 19-1. Oldie must have crushed this horse down from 30-1 down to 19-1.
I had 2 horses tripping out if he's good enough.
Yeah.
Opening quarter 1 to 22.
The 7 showing a lot more speed than expected, but then again, that is one of the star horses.
Mean Cannon angling out.
That's a need the lead type.
Yeah.
And rolling. Here comes Mean
Here
Cannon
goes
taking the lead away.
All right, where's this 8? Oh, second to last. That's not great.
So far, that's working out.
Here comes Gumbo. Gumbo's running on the outside.
Okay, we need the 8-5-9.
Come on, 1.
From Texas.
Come on, 1.
Third and gaining. Gumbo now 4.
Oh, the 1. Angle out. Come on.
8. Up the rail, 8. Up the rail, 8.
Texas Prado, 3-time charmer.
Come on.
Oh, you got a chance.
Up the rail, 8.
Come on, 1.
At the 16th is Mean Cannon.
Kind of flattening out.
Yeah.
Get up. Mean Cannon have it measured.
No.
Nope. Not going to do it.
That 1 ran a good race. Yeah. Texas Prado, the 2, good call on Mean Cannon. 5-2. Oh, I guess the 1 went off the favorite at 5-2 as well. A lot of shifting on the tote board there late. My goodness, those horses.
8 went off at 6-1.
Was 5-2 going into the gate and then flips back up to 6-1. They must have canceled their bet.
Oh man, that 2-8 exacta was paying $20.
Oh,
that's a bummer. Oh well, so close to so far.
John, he's also a Cowboys fan. John, I don't really admit it too much in public that I'm a Cowboys fan, but I am one. Let's go Cowboys. I don't think we have any shot at the Super Bowl this year, but let's get excited so that we can be let down. All right, guys. Charlestown, race 6, 0 minutes to post, which is so nice of them to not run on top of other tracks. I don't know if they're doing that on purpose, but really hate it when tracks run on top of each other. This is great. We've probably got another 3 or 4 minutes to handicap this race. We've got a 2-5 shot in, what's his name? Froggy the Gremlin. What a name.
Excellent name.
I mean, this is the best name in horse racing since Wolfie's Dynaghost. So
he's still around. He's on the turf now. Half brother to what? Sadler's Joy, I think it is.
Yeah, absolutely. 2 to 5, huge pace advantage, 63% in the win column, which is what you would hope for if you're going to back a 2 to 5 shot. I don't know here. I don't know if I was that sold. I like the 2 a little bit. Catfish. I don't know. Maybe Manti Te'o owns this horse. Who knows? That's a blast from the past. But I don't know. I like the races this horse is coming out of. We got a few trip excuses. The horse hasn't really burned a whole lot of money. The one time he was the favorite, absolutely won going away at lesser level. Stepping up, this is the 3rd time since stepping up from the maiden score. So I'm hoping that we're going to get the peak effort here from Catfish. We're getting a nice price at 8-1. I was looking for a horse that could maybe just sit that didn't need the lead. I don't really want to swallow 1-2 on Froggy the Gremlin. What do you want to do here, Mike?
Not bet Froggy the Gremlin, I'll tell you that much. One of the least favorite things I like doing is betting a horse off of their maiden victory first time against winners, especially when you don't see a big advantage anywhere. And while I do understand that the horse has the best pace numbers, this is one of those situations where I just don't think the sample size is all that big. And I think because of that, you're going to see a lot tougher situation here for Froggy the Gremlin. So if you look at that last race going 4.5, the horse went 22, 46, and 4. There are other horses here that can go that if they want to, but they haven't been specifically because they've been going 6.5 or 7 furlongs. So stretching out to that 7 furlong, doing it for the first time, probably facing some pace pressure. I'd rather try and find a way to beat this horse and look elsewhere. I went all the way to the outside. Hot Fudge Sunday to me is the horse I think has a big time chance here. When broke its maiden in its second start and had better numbers at its second start than Froggy the Gremlin did in its first. Also broke its maiden going 7 furlongs. Then last time out was first time against winners. Actually got the lead and then kind of drifted out in the stretch going 6.5. I'd much rather take an 8-1 price with the 9 horse here than I would take a 1-2 price on the 7 horse when you have so many questions about the 7. And, the numbers are similar when you look at it from just a buyer perspective, pace perspective, everything. I think this is a good spot to take a shot against the 7.
I agree. I think there's so much overhype about horses that break their maiden first out. It was impressive. You got to think about who they faced. And, this was a 44 SOR group. So definitely stepping up. Maidens only come back to win about 12% of the time, just in general. So first time against winners is obviously concerning. You got to be concerned. Maybe this is a need to lead type of horse. I think sometimes when we have a small sample size in like a pace number or a GSR for like maybe a horse that hasn't been bred that often or like a new sire, the number can get skewed a little bit. And that's where we have to do our homework checking here. And so this horse ran an 85 in the pace number against a bunch of nobodies. Yep. So now we're going to face pace pressure and it's going to be like, all right, welcome to the big leagues, step up. And at 3-5, this horse is being way overplayed. If he wins for fun, then I will accept a loss.
Yeah, and Timeform has him as a significant pace edge too, but they don't have everyone else being slow. For instance, the 2 Catfish has almost 100 pace number as well, which would mean that too should be able to at least stick close to them. And then when you have the inside draw, Charlestown, if you have the inside and you got speed, that's something you usually have to use. So I would be surprised if they didn't have this 2 move forward here. So yeah, the 63% seems a little aggressive to me. 4-5 is a little short for me. So I think I'm going to go with the 9 here and just play a win bet. It's down to 4-1 now, which I don't absolutely love, but I think that you're at least getting a little bit more value than that 4-5 number.
Oh, absolutely. Looks like we got a little controversy in the game. Mahomes did his pump fake, his patented pump fake, and then he tossed the ball, but the ball was slipping out of his hands as he was throwing it. I sure hope it's an incomplete pass. The ball was moving forward. Tom Brady rule of 0-2. And no, they will turn the ball over.
San Diego again. Los Angeles looking to go up at least a touchdown here before we get to half. Got a lot of people chiming in here. We've got CJ Andrews playing 149 with the 3 horse. And that 3 was one of the ones that was mentioned there by Oldie, who the 3 is also in that similar situation as the 7, coming off or first time against winners, except the 3 horse went 7 furlongs last time, was handily beaten by the 7 going 4.5. But again, we're going 7 today, not 4.5. So some advantage there. CJ's got the 4, the 9, and the 1. Throwing out the 7 completely, that try would pay a lot. That would be awesome. Got 9-7-1 here. So it's another one. And then we've got 4, 5, 6 here from John. So a lot of differing opinions here. And Joe here has a 3 as well. So a lot of differing opinions here at Charlestown. Great betting race if you don't like the 7. It seems like most of us do not.
You know what I like about Oldie is I don't think he's ever picked a horse under 15-1.
It's a lot
He's
easier.
a bomber.
He's
a bomber, man.
Yeah.
He's the bomb detector is what I'm gonna call Oldie from now on.
And here we go. Alex coming in, liking that good chalk. I like having guys. Someone's got to be contrarian. Someone's got to like him, especially 4 to 5. A lot of people like this horse.
Yes, they do. 4 to 5, hey, if you believe that the pace number is going to be true and this horse is going to be 5 clear of the field and just carry on like a paid workout, then take your 4 to 5 to the bank and cash this check. Me and Mike are going elsewhere here, and it sounds like a lot of the other equine edge following is going elsewhere as well. Looks like we're going to be walking to the gate here soon. Then we'll have one more race coming up at Remington and Charlestown before we let you go. I don't know. These post times, look, it already says 8 minutes to post race 7 at Charlestown. So we know that's going to be in probably 25 minutes. So
Charlestown
hopes up.
They've taken over Gulfstream's role as the post-time drag track now. I mean, I didn't even realize it until we started doing the show, but Charlestown is never on time. Like if you look at the post times on DRF or you look at the post times on Equinedge, like you are consistently 25 minutes off by the end of the night. I mean, so they're post time dragging this like crazy.
The amount of extra handle, looks like the jockey's off this. Oh no, the jockey's.
Yeah, they're getting a new jock on the 8. Yeah.
Yeah, the 6 and the 5.
He's the Victor Rodriguez got to get on his horse out there, figuratively, not literally. Get to that 8 so we can get out there. You want to talk a little? We could talk a little Turfway Park here. We're 9 minutes to post on the finale of Turfway before we watch this race here at Charlestown.
We'll head over to Turfway. I'll pull it up on the screen here. Looks like we got fillies going a mile, 8 furlongs, 2-year-olds. Always fun, 2-year-olds. We got a lot of first-time starters in this race, and so it's kind of a toss-up. I look at workouts a lot when I'm betting first-time starters. That's important to me. But this time of the year, it's harder to find good workout reports. When we're in kind of mid-season form at Del Mar, when we're at Saratoga, when we're at the Gulfstream Championship meet, there's like the top clockers that are out there, and I'm looking at a lot of workout reports. But kind of in the off-season right now, I don't know. It's a toss-up for me when it comes to workouts. So I more or less look at breeding when I'm looking at first-time starters, and it looks like we have a John Ennis, Sophie Doyle duo, 3rd-time starter. Probably deserving favorite based on the last effort, going against the same company, going 2 turns for the first time. Mike, did you see anything you liked here at Turfway?
Not anything I loved. The 2 horse I think is at least a little interesting. Millionaire Waltz. We're dropping in here from a $23,000 maiden special weight, and that was at Hawthorne, and now we're coming in here. And you had the horse who ran second, won next time out. We had a bug jockey that day, 30 to 1, so he wasn't expected to win the race. They went pretty fast, went 3 early. I think that the 2 horse Millionaire Waltz is a little bit of a shot here to price at 6 to 1. This is one of those favorites that I get why the horse is the favorite. I do, but in the last time out, this horse had every chance to win going a mile and 16th at Churchill and $15,000 maiden claimers and just couldn't get the job done. And so when you get that situation and now we're running back at the same level, for me, I would just rather take a shot at a bit of a price. I go with the 2 horse Millionaire Waltz.
I'm going with the 3, Senorita Carlita. Dropping in class significantly. We've got John Ortiz and Joe Rocco here. I like John Ortiz horses. He runs a lot of horses at Oaklawn. He uses Raylu Gutierrez quite a bit too. John Ortiz does. Yep. And so I think 3rd start, they tried blinkers last time out. I just think he's been running against tougher, and I think that class level is going to prevail. So I look for the 3 to show some more speed than she did in her first start. And you're getting 7 to 1, 15% win percentage on the equine edge, win percentage algorithm. We're getting probably sitting mid-pack. I hope we're going to sit about maybe 3rd or 4th and pounce at the top of the stretch. And then we're also getting a decent GSR, kind of mid-pack. No one's really too far out in front.
Yeah, there's no clear leader here, which should set up for something interesting. I kind of agree with Charles here. A Turfway seems like a really bad chalk track in general. You get some bomb prices, and it just doesn't seem like the best place to play. Chuck with the 2-3-8, I think that makes a ton of sense. I do think the 8's going to be there. It's just a question of whether or not horse is able to get it done. Looks like Charles, are you live in the pick 6 at Turfway here? I haven't looked at the pick 6 will pays there. I know the pick 5 early. The will pays were incredible for the horses that were able to get home. He had a couple rather short price horses early, and one 12 to 1 shot, I think it was, and then it was very gettable after that.
So I remember last winter, it was like maybe January or so. I played a Turfway pick 6, and I went all in the first 2 legs, and then I singled a Wesley Ward horse, and then I was 2 by 2 by 2. So decent sized ticket. And I got like a 30-1 shot in the first leg and then like a 35-1 shot in the second leg. And, our buddy Swift goes, is anybody live in the pick 6 on Twitter? And I was like, I am.
Right here.
And then guess what happened? The Wesley Ward, like 2-5 shot got absolutely eaten up. And then no one was live in the pick 6.
Unbelievable sequence there at the end of the half. The Chargers unable to get in and turn it into points. They had 8 tries on to go to plays in the first half and scored 0 points on those 8 attempts.
Wow, man, I need to stop streaming because they haven't even snapped the ball yet for me. So I'm way behind.
Sorry.
That could have been a pick 6.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right.
Which pick 6 do you want to hit? The Chargers game, or you want to hit the one at Turfway? Let's hit the one at Turfway.
The star means so on the one here you can see the star. That means that horse is a need the lead type, so it's more likely to go to the front. So the pace algorithm tells you what the pace is, but on next to that pace number, if there is a star or an asterisk, that means that that horse is one that we expect should go toward the front of the pack and generally is in front. So here we expect Dirty Nelly, the one horse, to go to the lead, even though it may not be fast enough to get it. But often what that means is when you see a horse rush up like that, it can be awfully tough for the horse to get the job done late.
Mm-hmm. And the horse has experience over the others. So that could be a huge thing as well. Mike, before we went on the show, we talked about the Pletcher filly. What was her name? Arlo or Arvo that ran today?
Arvo.
Arvo.
Yeah.
Absolutely romped after missing the break. Was 12 lengths last. Wasn't even in the screen for the majority of the race until the top of the turn. And she was just absolutely picking off horse by horse by horse and won by like 8 in the stretch. I was looking elsewhere because I just didn't trust an Arrowgate first-time starter there, and I absolutely got fooled by the first-time starter. So, that's the big game about maidens is that you could have a horse that's coming into their third start. You think they're going to be on their peak effort, and you got a first-time starter that's training really well that just needs to learn on the track. And so that's what makes this game so fun.
What's crazy, too, is that the horse wasn't training that well. It's Avow, A-V-O-W. Wasn't even training that well, and it's also a daughter of Arrogate. Arrogate's not generally has been a very bad first out sire. So you wouldn't expect the horse to run that well out of a war front mare. So both up top and bottom is screaming 2 turns, and we're going 1 turn. And there was just so many reasons to not like the horse. Obviously, I mean, the word had to have been out down there. I mean, people were telling people that horse was a monster based on the way it got bet. I think it was a 3-1 morning line. It went down to at one point, I think it was 2-5. And the horse is just, if you haven't seen the replay, go watch the replay of the last race at Gulfstream Park. I mean, absolute monster of a horse in Avow.
Are you saying Baffert horses usually aren't good sires?
I can't remember too many that have been all that successful. American Pharoah.
Name three. Name 3. American Pharoah on the turf sprinting, though. That's where American Pharoah is, not dirt going long.
A lot of people thought American Pharoah would have been a better turf horse than dirt horse. Just never tried it because of the purses. So it's
love to see it.
I mean, I wish we got 2 more seasons with American Pharoah. Although maybe I don't, based on who the trainer was. But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we're gonna get some Justify babies this year.
Yep.
Arrowgate, small sample, unfortunately, due to his life being cut short. And so, yeah, I mean, American Pharoah on the turf, that has just been so cool. Run your horse till they're 5, please. None of this retiring after the 3 or 4 year old year.
It'd be awfully interesting if they made a rule you couldn't go breed a horse until they were 4 or 5. If you said you can't breed till you're 5, that would change the game significantly because then these horses would run 4-year-old campaigns, and you'd have to make sure you protect them. You don't want to go too hard with them when they're 3-year-olds because there's another season coming. So it would be awfully interesting.
Well, credit to the connections of Knicks Go. They could have retired after the Pegasus. But it's kind of like, okay, we won the Dirt Mile in the Breeders' Cup. We won the Pegasus. We don't know if we can get a 1.25 miles, but then they tried and they did it. And now they're running the Pegasus again. Most would just retire.
And here we go. We had the 7 with the big pace advantage. And the 7 does look like he's going to get out and get to the lead here, get to the rail. The 9 is going to stalk on the outside. 7 got a pretty cushy trip here to get out to the front. We're going to be interested to see what this early fraction is. 23 and 4. That's a little bit faster than you generally see them go here for 7 furlongs. So a little bit of a quick pace, but the 7 was able to clear and get over.
That's why he's the Froggy Gremlin. You got to earn that name. 9's putting a lot of pressure. The Hot Fudge Sunday, that's one you like, Mike.
Yep. Don't love that position. Like if I'm going to pick a place where I don't want to be generally in a race, it is the one putting the pressure on the favorite. I mean, 9-5 actually on Froggy the Gremlin ends up going off, and Froggy the Gremlin seems like He's got something in his throat here. He's getting pumped on pretty good around the turn. We'll see if the 9's able to have anything left for the links. It looks like the 7's going to go the wrong direction here. But it's not the best spot to be usually is the pressure horse. We'll see if he's going to be able to, now that he's put the 7 away, put the rest of this field away as the 4 seems to be coming pretty good here.
Yep, here comes the 4. Man, the 7's trying to re-rally. No chance there. My 3's way too far back. The 9 looks good unless the 6 comes up the rail.
Stay up there. Wire. Got him.
Oh, yeah,
there we
it's
go.
coming. Nice job there. Hot Fudge Sunday.
Take it. 3-1.
It's a good price. I like tonight. Not just the chalk of all chalks are winning. We're getting some bad chalks.
7-2.
All right.
Floats up.
Building bankroll for this weekend.
I love it.
You playing any tournaments this weekend, Mike?
I'm probably going to play some of the weekend ones, the ones on horse tourneys. We've got, I qualified for I think it's the 30,000 on Saturday. So I'm playing in that. And then I'm trying to get into the big bucks. I love the big bucks tournament on horse tourneys. They have a $1,000 buy-in, but you can qualify for $62 to a Friday super qualifier, which then 1 in every 5 qualify through. And it's like a $200 tournament or so. And then you get to play for the 20,000, but it's nice because it's 20 max. So you don't have to have that 20-1 bomb, which you have to have in these bigger fields of tournaments. Like if you're playing, a tournament with 300 people and you don't have a 20-1 shot, you're chasing after that because someone had it. If you're playing with 20 people, you're not always chasing if someone doesn't have that. A 9-2 shot is much more valuable in a field of 20 than it is a field of 200. And so you're able to kind of do more of specific handicapping for horses versus trying to just hunt down those bombs.
Reminds me of the NHC. We were sitting at the same table and we were watching Monmouth Park, and the defending champion hits a 50-1 shot at Monmouth on both of his entries. Like, it's like all of a sudden the whole room's quiet except for like 2 guys. And that's how some of those tournaments go. Totally different animal than a live money contest, which I'm looking forward to starting to play. I heard Pegasus is having a little tournament, not like a big one, but like one of those $1,500 express bet tournaments while the NHC is going on. So hopefully everybody that's NHC qualified decides to play that if they're out of their entry by that point, or even if they're in, double participate, grow the tournament game.
Yeah, I love the tournaments, man. It's a great way, especially during the weekdays where I don't bet as much from a handle perspective, to be able to play during the day. And to kind of Monday and Tuesdays, I'll play parks tournaments, things like that. It's a blast to be able to just kind of have action the whole day. We're off at Turfway here. We're about a quarter mile into the race. Your 3-horse, Senorita Carolita, out there on the front with the 6-horse Lola Flo chasing right behind, and then some prices after that. Looks like who is that revving up on the outside? The 5-horse starting to make a move here on the outside. My 2-horse going the wrong way.
3's all out. Oof.
Let's see here. Anybody else coming?
The 6, Norm Cash, low flow at 14-1, is the one out in the lead and looks pretty comfortable.
Your favorite's trying to make a move 3 wide, but
here comes Sophie. She's going to be coming down the middle of the track, I promise. I feel like I always see Sophie in the middle of the track.
She seems to be there quite a bit.
6 is gone. Absolutely gone. Norm Cash. You know what? I've been seeing his name pop up everywhere, and I never have him on my ticket. Is Norm Cash? Should I know this trainer? Or is he relatively new?
I always think of, we got 960 on that win. Or 940. I love that. I always think of Norm Cash, the guy who did the poker announcing for a while.
Oh, okay.
But it's Norman Chad. Never mind, not Norm Cash. Anyway, he's a Middle America trainer that's got a smaller barn, but has had some success.
I got invited to play a poker game not too long ago, and this guy from our town, and he finished 7th in the World Series of Poker not too long ago.
Oh, nice.
And it's like, why would I want to play poker with you? I might need some tips from Mike. You're a good poker player.
I've played a couple times, dabbled in it.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, guys. Well, hope you enjoyed that tonight. He's got his chips and everything.
we got one more from Remington.
We got one more? Oh, there we go. Remington in 5 minutes. I got it up on the screen here.
Here we go. We got 5 minutes to Remington. So we'll cover this race and then call it a night here.
All right, here we go. Remington, 5 furlongs on the dirt, 3-year-olds and up. Just a little $5,000 claimer. We've got a 2-1 favorite in Hanson's Mischief. I'm guessing is going to be out of Into Mischief, which has been a great sire, especially sprinting on the dirt. Swallowing a 2-1 price here, 27% on the Equine Edge morning line, Equine Edge win percentage, top EE pick. pretty much all the algorithms are pointing to this horse probably being a fair price at 5-2. I'm glad he's not like even money 6-5. I could see this horse totally being bet down to that low. I think 5-2 is an honest price here. Colonel Tom on the outside is getting bet the 11 horse down to 2-1 here. Looks like the horse burnt some money last time out and a little tougher. It's coming back. 6-year-old Oscar Flores trained. Mike, what did you see here?
Look, this is one of those where I mentioned those asterisks. When you have 3 of them and you also have that 80, it means you're going to have a hot pace. The horses sitting right behind it are the ones I'm interested in. I like Hanson's Mischief in this spot. I think this is good chalk. The horses run well. I mean, you've got a good GSR from a 61 perspective. I think puts it in 3rd or 4th for the overall race. The horse has run well consistently at this level. This is the 2nd time that you're going to be in the Mark Buehler barn, which is one of the better barns down running in the circuit. So you're going to see him in Oklahoma. You're going to see him down in Texas, Sam Houston, those places. Horse has tactical speed, so that's not an issue. One last time out. I like that. Was able to beat the 11 last time out. Was able to stalk and do it, which I think is exactly what you're going to see here. Kind of like the post position. You know, some people don't like the 10, the 11, the 12 hole, but in these shorter sprints, you're guaranteed not to get any trouble and you don't get stopped. And if you're on the 1 or the 2, yeah, you can trip out and you go through the rail. But man, if you get stopped at all, it's over because you're just not able to get your momentum going again and re-rally. So I think this is a spot where the 10 horse has a lot of things to like about it. I don't love the price, but I do think that's your most likely winner.
Yeah, I agree. And if you watch the replay from last time out, you know, the horse was able to break from the outside, broke from the 8 post last time out, was able to get over, set a perfect trip. I like horses that make their own trips. You know, of recent, Tiz the Law was a horse where it really didn't matter what post Tiz the Law broke from. Tiz the Law always made his trip. He was never going to be compromised. And so that's what this 10 horse did last time out. I'm also on the 10 as good chalk to end the night. 7-5 is what we're swallowing right now. Looks like he's starting to get bet down. Oldie must have put his bet in. So
the other horse I want to mention here that I think is kind of a little bit of a crazy price that I think is interesting. If you want to get a little nutty here to end the night, the 4 horse Euromaster, I think makes a little bit of sense in this spot. It's the lowest claiming level we're going to see this horse at a long time. It's a 7-year-old who was off a long layoff, and now you're getting second off the layoff. James Helzer is the trainer. 25% second off a layoff of this kind. The horse is going to run a lot better than it did last time. I'm not sure if Euromaster is going to be able to win, but at a big price, I think the 4 is awfully interesting.
No, absolutely. You know, you got a decent percentage trainer here. The system, you know, only 2% win, but 19-1, which equates to about what it should be.
Yep.
So there you go, getting a nice price in a low-level claiming race, which anything can happen. Mike, we were talking about before the show how we're loving these low-level claiming races at Gulfstream on the synthetic right now because people really haven't figured out how to play that, you know, poly track.
No, they haven't. I've been talking about this in the Magic Mike show, man. Like speed is not good. And you have a lot of places where speed has been very good at poly tracks. Hello, Arlington Park, right? Like that, you had to play speed if you're playing Arlington and the Gulfstream track just hasn't tightened up yet. I mean, it's still a newer surface for them. So you're not seeing horses be able to sustain that lead. And like, man, it's tough to watch a horse go 25-51, going 2 turns in a mile 16th and just quit like a dog around the second turn. So it can be absolutely brutal when you watch that stuff. But yeah, I have been doing very well with closers on the synthetic right now over Gulfstream. That'll change at some point. The track will tighten up, but you just got to pay attention. And, you know, not everyone's playing every day. And when you're not playing every day, you're not noticing those things.
And we're thinking they're probably saving the turf course for the the true championship meet. I mean, IRAD hasn't even showed up yet. So has the championship meet even started? It's like Luis Saez is just taking everybody by storm, winning 3 or 4 a day. Good for him. I don't know. Why is IRAD not riding right now? Did the suspension carry over to other tracks, or is he just taking a vacation?
Well, it's the only thing that actually carries over is suspensions. So if you get suspended in one place, you're suspended everywhere, which is wild because like it's not for trainers. It's not for, like it's only jockeys that get suspended across the board. And like then there's some exceptions around it too, where like you're allowed to ride in this stakes race and not ride in that stakes race. Real fun side note here. Toby Maguire. If you've seen oh man, I can't think of the
Spider-Man.
name. Molly's Game.
Oh yeah,
he's the player.
Are you serious?
Just a quick side note there. We're getting into the gate here at Remington. So if you haven't seen Molly's Game, check it out. It's a very, very good movie. But yeah, he's the celebrity player that they build that off of.
My friend Whitney's dad owned the horse named Molly's Game with Jason Barkley that ran at Churchill Downs a year ago.
Oh, nice.
And so I just never got the tips when Molly Game was going to win the race. So, all right, we're in the gate here at Remington for our finale on the Good Chalk, Bad Chalk show, capping it off at 10 p.m. Eastern time. Hopefully you guys have found some winners tonight. Let's get Hans's men shift. Oh, no, 4-5 now.
Yeah, it's got hammered late.
Hopefully you got it on your exotics or your horizontal wagers. See if he makes his trip once again. Looks like he's going to be sitting mid-pack here. See if he can get over. It's like he's going to be wide until they sort things out. And then, of course, they zoom in on just the front three runners.
And this is kind of crazy, too. The 1, the 5, and the 6, all of which did not have very high pace numbers, all are out there. I mean, and they're going, but they're not going crazy. Here comes the 10 going 4 wide.
10's being asked now. So should have his run of it if he's good enough.
Yep. The 5 horses was one of the price plays here on the Equinedge system, and there's a logical horse underneath to see if he's going to be able to keep it going here all the way through the 5 furlong.
Looks like it.
Gone.
Ghostly Who at 8-1. A 0% trainer. So we're gonna have to talk about Frank Davis being 0%, at least on our system. Jose Alvarez was the jockey. Horse was bet in 3 straight races down odds on, then ran at the same class level at odds of 33-1 and 23-1, and now wins for fun.
And was able to get the lead. I mean, that I think is the surprising thing here. I mean, you had multiple horses that I expected to be much faster than the 5 here. Yeah. And the 5 was able to get to the front, and that made all the difference in the world.
Oldie hating on Tiz the Law a little bit. Come on, Tiz the Law beat Uncle Chuck, Oldie. Come on. I agree. And it was kind of a tough derby that year. What was there, only like 12 horses in the gate for that derby when Tiz the Law ran up against Authentic? There was not many.
I think there were 16.
16? 12 real runners? I mean, there were some extras. I mean,
you had a Baffert scratch in the paddock.
1,000 words, right? That was the horse that, I don't know what went on there. But
yeah.
But then Authentic freaked out in the winner's circle. So, yeah. All right, guys. Thanks. Yeah. Thanks for joining us.
Good call there, John, to close the night as well. Want to give you credit for that one.
John on the 5. Nice. You do anything fun this weekend, Mike, besides playing horses?
We've got the family holiday party here. So we're getting my sister and my parents and I are all getting together and having our little holiday before we head up to my wife's place. So we're gonna, just getting some holiday spirit going, some holiday cheer. How about yourself?
Nice. We've got an ugly sweater party tomorrow night, which some sweaters that I might think look good could be considered ugly by others. So I'm wearing an Alabama sweater tomorrow night. Have a big future on Alabama with a few other things that need to hit this year in the college football / NFL season. So going to be supporting Bama throughout the rest of the college football playoff. And I'm actually going to Hawthorne on Saturday. I've never been to Hawthorne before.
Nice.
And so my buddy, his wife needs to go shopping. And so he's taking the kids and me to Hawthorne. So why not?
Are you going to play the Tampa tournament on the 8th?
I didn't know about it.
So it's a weird setup. It's a $500. No, it's $1,000 buy-in. Yeah, $1,000 buy-in. You get $500. You can bet $100 on 5 races, win, play, show. Nothing else. If you win, you can't keep betting. You can only bet 5 races, $100 each.
Okay, it sounds like a win-place tourney.
It basically is, except you get to actually, but there's no cap on it. And so it's like it's a guy. I think it's 3 NHC seats, 2 3 NHC seats, one of the two.
Oh, dang.
But I'm trying to qualify for it on horse trains just so I have a reason to go to Florida.
Is it over Tampa? When is Tampa's big day? I can never get that one right. It always kind of sneaks up on me when their big day is, when they have the turf stakes and everything.
Yeah, it was when NHC was 2 years ago, but I can't remember. It's like I think it's late January, maybe early February, one of the two. I think it's in the bye week in between the Super Bowl and the AFC and AFC title games, because that's when NHC was 2 years ago.
It's a great time for it. I heard NHC might be during the Super Bowl next year or in 2023. Is that what they're talking about?
They won't do it.
No, because awesome would that be? People will be paying thousands just to qualify, just so they can get a hotel room in Vegas that Sunday night.
Well, that's the problem, is that the hotel room would go up. So there's no way NTRA is going to be like, the reason they picked the weekend in between the Super Bowl and the conference championship games is because it's cheap. So
yeah, exactly. I know we had a blast. NHC. It's coming up again at the end of January. I'm going to be at Pegasus. Mike will be at NHC. We'll be rooting you on, Mike. And then maybe I can actually win the Pegasus. Maybe Scotty won't play. Who knows?
Okay.
Maybe he'll be too focused on NHC, and then I can play the Pegasus and take home the smaller tournament. But I don't know. I love Pegasus. It's probably my favorite event besides maybe Breeders' Cup to go to throughout the year.
Yeah, BCBC is awesome. Pegasus is a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun with Keeneland at the Grade 1 Gamble too. I'd love to go back and play that again. So that's another one that I think would be a blast. But yeah, you gotta get qualified for NHC, man. Just come on.
I've already got my trip planned for Pegasus. I'll start qualifying for NHC 2023 next year. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us tonight. Hopefully you had some winners. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Retweet us, tweet us questions, like the show, please. Good luck this weekend. A lot of good races, whether you're playing the good chalk or you're fading the bad chalk. We'll see you next week.